Hi, I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at another Kingwin fan. This one is the Duro bearing silent series, the DB-122 with white LEDs. And it's pretty special, and you might notice something sticking out of the corners there. Those are silicone corners with silicone pins, so there's no need for screws. Let's take a closer look, shall we? And it's got a slightly conical hub on the front side where the air's going that way, of course. It also has a 3-pin connector, but there's a fourth wire that's coming out, which is the PWM signal wire. So you can actually take this, and this I find very unique. You can connect it to this, and thus you now have a 4-pin or PWM connector. And then there's this, so that you could do the same with another 3-pin if you had whatever you need to have for, to be able to do that. So it's pretty interesting. And these corners are removable, and you can turn them around, which is also a nice feature that not very many fans that I have available. Let's see what it sounds like, though. And I'm going to do this with 4 pins, just to be transparent with you. And yes, it has 4 white LEDs. It is kind of stubborn about getting started, though. You have to get up to enough voltage. And you can see that the light reflects off of that nicely, creating that curved light effect. But the volume is pretty low. Very low, actually. Let's go ahead and compare this to the Noctua. Wow, so quickly it starts to drown out the lower pitch of the Kingwin. It's definitely louder than the Kingwin. I can barely hear the Kingwin now. And despite the fact that it's a Duro bearing, whatever that's supposed to mean, it stopped really fast after I stopped the current flowing. So I think it's not a good bearing. So what can we use this fan for? Well, judging by what I'm feeling here, which is here is where I'm really feeling the pressure, this is something that would be good on a case only. And yeah, intake or exhaust, I suppose. I wouldn't use it on any kind of a cooler. It is kind of interesting how you get that nice reflection on that side, but not really that side so much. Right. Well, I do like the versatility. I just wish it was more powerful. I do have another one from them that's I think is a bit more powerful than this one. So hopefully we can see something better. Oh, and I'm not sure why, but on the sides here there are 2 holes for LEDs. So I suppose if you wanted to drill through those holes, you could put a secondary LED in each of those. Different color, maybe? I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Let's take a look at the specs. But before we do that, I did want to point out removing this from the corner is extremely challenging. And I'm not sure why they made it so difficult. I wonder if maybe they were afraid that it was just going to pop out by itself, or and then putting it back in, you have to do it at an angle. So if you pull from the side where the pin is, you can get it out. And then if you put it at an angle like this, there. So not too bad. So you can switch it around. There is one more thing. There is a 2-pin Molex to 2-pin connector, so you can power it from the power supply if you want. This is a pretty old fan. I think it's from 2014, but it's the Duro bearing silent series white LED DB-122, and it's a $17 fan. Ooh, gosh, I'm glad I didn't pay that much. No indication of any certifications, although it has patent pendings at the time in multiple countries: US, Japan, Germany, Spain, and France. Made in China, 120 by 25, 80,000 hours of life, 4 white LEDs, 150 grams. Now, the Noctua is 150,000 hours of life minimum and 6-year warranty. This one doesn't seem to have a warranty that I could find. And it's 50 grams more than the Kingwin. And they both have 9 blades. This one has 500 to 1200 RPMs versus the Noctua, which is 450 to 2000. Noctua goes in 10% variance. Well, this is 200 RPMs variance, which is pretty significant on the low end. The airflow is 74.5 CFMs. Static pressure is 0.93 millimeters of water. 19.7 decibels, 40 centimeter fan cable. You can daisy chain it, and it's sleeved, except for that 4th wire, which is exposed. And I'm not really sure why they didn't just put it all together in one. I'm sure there's some kind of good reason for it, but I'm not really sure what that reason would be. So it's a 3-pin DC plus a PWM signal wire. Duro bearings, which is, I guess, specific to Kingwin. 12 volts, starting 9 up to 13.8. 3.36 watts, 0.28 amps. So it's pretty power hungry. I mean, if you look at the Noctua, you know, we've got a PWM with the SSO2 bearings, which are pretty amazing. Starting at 5 volts, 1.2 watts, and 0.1 amps. So a lot of that is going to those ridiculous white LEDs, which, yeah, you could just snip them so they don't light up the fan. It does indicate rotation and flow direction with both words and arrows. And the rubber pins and corners are 1 unit. And there is the splitter that is included with the cable. There's also the 2-pin Molex converter, and you know, the corners are just, again, this is a rarity. I mean, how many fans have I shown you that have that? I think 2 more, 3 more. So it's very, very interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.